Tyler Hyde, they've scored 66 points 2 out of 3 weeks. And I talked to Coach Woods, and I said, the thing about your team is, because they won last week 18-17, they lost the week before 70-66, and then they won this past Friday 66-30. I said, you have a team that if you're in a shootout, it can go either way. If you need to play low-scoring ball, which means defensive battles, it can go that way. And if you're in position to dominate, you're going to dominate because you can throw the ball, you can run the ball. And this past week, though they are a running team, all their touchdowns but one came through the air. Here's what he had to say.
All right, take a listen.
I don't know if there's anything that we're doing that's intentional other than trying to win the game.
Right.
As far as who we are, we have the ability to score some points.
Yeah.
We're getting better defensively. And those things are key things to get a spot in the playoff, which is the main goal right now.
I was impressed with all of your receivers, but Christopher Moore, physical cat, he made this catch, I highlighted, he just lowered the boom on the DB.
Right.
And you even heard the crowd go, ooh.
Right.
Talk about the physicality of his play and maybe a few others that we haven't seen.
Yeah, so Chris Moore is the guy that I knew early on was going to be an important part or important piece to us. He's such a big guy at 6'5". He's a tight end type guy that can run like a receiver. And so when he's on the edge, his ability to block for the other guys as well as make plays has really been a glue guy for us on the edge. That's been very, very important for us and our ability to score points. There's been some other guys. You know about Trey Harrelson and as dynamic as he is. Davion Searles has his specific role on the team. He does a really good job with short passes out into the flat. He works the middle of the field for us, and he was able to catch a screen pass and go a long way. Cook is another guy for us who's really coming on strong for us. He's a young guy that's 6'3" now. I mean, he's growing. I've seen him grow from as a freshman, being a short guy and then really been a late bloomer kid for us that is now making plays out there on the edge. And so we've got some guys that can make some plays. Caden is really having a strong year. He's completing 70% of his passes. He's only got 2 interceptions on the year and 6 touchdowns last week. The guy's been playing really consistent football throughout the entire year, and those are great things to have. And we haven't even talked about the running game yet, which has been pretty consistent with Kadarius having a really good year, leading the district in touchdowns, and Ashton being the workhorse that he is for us. Pretty exciting offensively to have a chance to talk about those guys and then see those guys play at a high level.
Well, and your quarterback, we've talked about him before, but what I see him doing more and more is making a decision, and whatever decision he makes, he sticks with it. I think it was 4th and 2, maybe 3rd and long, and he goes around the right side and says, I'm going to tuck this sucker and go. When you have a player like him, plays with moxie, plays with determination, how much of an influence does your team look up to him? He is the quarterback, and he's supposed to make those plays. But I think sometimes your guys are like, wow, okay, we got a dog back here.
Yeah, Caden is really, as the seasons went on, really took on that leadership role at the quarterback position, and that's not always a guarantee that your quarterback's leader of the football program. And the way he's practicing, especially the last 4 weeks, locking in and taking advantage of every day, I could tell that he knows he's a senior and it's just his last ride. And it's really been a joy coaching that version of him. He can make plays, and he's doing a really good job for us, and he's bought in. He's been bought in. He's played. It's rare you have a guy that's been a starter for you for 3 years, but he's been that, and a big part of why we're having success on the offensive side of the ball, and that's the team in general.
Well,
Coach Woods played for the 49ers. He played in the Canadian Football League, and he played for Oklahoma State as a wide receiver. So he understands the qualities that quarterbacks should have.
Yeah,
they all don't have it. It's the intangibles, the things that you can't put your finger on that this young man, Caden Granberry, has. Really sharp general, short guy, but he can. That's why they moved the pocket for him so he can get around the big lineman and see downfield. They played